Thank you for joining me here at Narc Free today. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit the bell so you can receive notifications when new videos come out. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. So today I wanted to speak with you all about what you can expect if you have children with a narcissist and you are no longer with them. If you're divorcing a narcissist or if you've broken it off with a narcissist, so that you can get a better picture and know what to expect. And you guys leave some comments down below so that other people can get their experiences validated, because a lot of good things happen in the comments. Okay, so what you can expect is if you're divorcing a narcissist, or even if you're not divorcing one, but you're breaking up, you can expect, I'm going to go ahead and get the hard part out of the way, that they will try to take your children from you. And if they do get your children, they will alienate you from the children. So they will not allow the phone calls to go through with the children, or visitation, or any orders, and they'll have all kinds of excuses for why they were unable to follow any of the orders. Okay. Now, another thing you need to know is that your children will need therapy. The narcissist is not just going to let you go and let the children go in peace. And now there are some, and I'll discuss that at the end of the video, who will just go away. But we're talking about the ones who stick around so that they can try to make your life a nightmare. So they're going to use the children as a pawn in their little game. And so you will need to find a therapist when you start seeing behavior that's bad, or you start hearing them saying things that are bad, so the children are telling you that things are going on. I would try to find a seasoned therapist that specializes in play therapy with children. And when you meet with them, see if they are willing to go to court if necessary, because some therapists don't like to do it. So make sure you get someone who's seasoned, because they won't mind going to court and testifying if they're finding child abuse. So also, another point is that they will try to traumatize the children. They will do things like whisper in their ear while they're asleep that you don't love them. So maybe you have more than one child, and one of the children is closer to the narcissist and is wrapped around their finger, but that other child, they're trying to break them down to get them to cater to them and do the things that they want. And you know how that is when you have a son. A son is usually much more attached to their mother. And so if the narcissist is a male, he may have to work harder to try to get that son to not love the mother. So this is a tactic that they'll use. They will try to get in their psyche and speak to them while they're sleeping and tell them, that mommy doesn't love you. Okay. Keep in mind that they are disordered, so they are mentally ill. So they will make up stories in their head to tell your children. They make up stories just like they did with the smear campaign to tell other people. So it's not going to stop because you're not with them and you have children, and they're not going to just leave the kids out of it. So you need to be aware of that. You can expect that at some point in time, if they're not getting their way with you, that they will call Child Protective Services, that they will come up with a frivolous, made-up story, and they will try to use Child Protective Services against you, and they may call multiple times. Do not expect for them to follow the orders. They have no intentions of following any orders. They change the rules. They move the goalpost all of the time, and they still want the control. So you could have asked them ahead of time, what dates they want the children for the summer, and they'll give you dates, and you're trying to lock down specific dates. But then when those dates come around, they say, oh no, I said another week, and you screenshot it and you send them exactly what they said. And then they start gaslighting you via text message or via our family wizard to try to say, well, you didn't even know when school started, so they're still going to run game. It does not end. And you need to be mentally prepared for that, because if you thought that this was just going to go away and be over because you divorced them or because you're no longer with them and you have children with them, they are not just going to let it be over. You can expect for them not to pay their half of the medical bills or clothing, which also goes along with not following the orders. They may tell you something like, these expenses should come out of child support, even though the orders tell them very specifically that they're supposed to pay half of it. They feel entitled and they're above the law and they are not going to obey. The covert narcissist might behave in front of people. So they may put on a show, and your children may become the show and tell babies, where when they want them around, because there's an event or something that they want to take them to, they'll get them. And then the times when they don't want them around, they'll start gaslighting you and say, like I said before, that, hey, these aren't the dates that we agreed to. And keep in mind that they're still going to be working on the smear campaign. It doesn't end because you're no longer with them. They'll say that you're not letting them get the children when in fact they didn't come to pick them up. Some of you may have had this happen during COVID because the children are going to school at home now. So if the narc was picking them up from school and now school is at home, and you send them a message and say, hey, they're going to be having school from home, so this is where you need to pick them up, they feel like that you are in control and they don't want you in control. So now they want to start saying, hey, I'm not coming to your home to pick them up. You come and meet me somewhere. And they may be doing this because they really don't want to get them. And so they're hoping that you will say, no, I'm not coming to meet you. And then they just won't come get them. And then they blame it on you. These are just all types of games that they like to play. And COVID was a perfect situation for some of these narcissists to run rapid and just play all kinds of games. Now, some of you are with a narcissist that will not want to have anything to do with the kids at all. And then 2, 4, 5, 6 years down the road, all of a sudden they want to take you to court and they want visitation. All right. So you need to be just mindful that these things can and do happen, so that you're not devastated if these things happen. You're prepared. If the narcissist does leave your children alone, some of you may be really bothered by that, because it will affect your children and it will hurt them and it will cause abandonment issues for them. But for those of us that have to deal with them on a daily basis, with them still running all kinds of game, if they have left you and your children alone, then count it all joy and be grateful. And I'm going to leave it at that. So I want to end this with a personal story of manipulation, because I want you all who don't know how bad this gets to understand that the children are mere pawns in the game. And I personally had this happen to me where when we got the divorce, the ex-narc and I went to the home to get all of my remaining things from the home, he did not leave any toys at the house, not one single toy. And not all he left was a big bag of books, a big black trash bag with books in it. And he told the children that they didn't need any books. Okay. Now I'm going to come back around full circle and tell you why this is manipulative. Well, a couple of months later, he sends my daughter home with this teddy bear. But this is not her teddy bear. This is a bear that he had built for me at Build-A-Bear the first Valentine's that we were together. So he sends the bear home. I don't think much about it. And I start doing some cleaning around the house. And, a few weeks later, I decide I don't want this bear in my home. This is, to me, I just don't want it around me. I don't want anything around, that has to deal with him around me. So I tell my daughter, take this back over to your dad's. You're going to put it in your book bag and just take it back and leave it over there. And she begins to explain to me, no, mommy, no. Daddy said that I'm supposed to carry this bear with me everywhere I go. But mind you, she hasn't been carrying the bear everywhere she goes because she doesn't care anything about the bear. You know who cares about the bear? Her father. You know who told her to carry it around? Like she said, her father. Because he wants to irritate me or still have a position of power or control. Now, where the books come into place, he told them that they didn't need any books. Okay, that's fine. But then when I go to look at the school reading log, there's a book that pops up. I have a good friend who happens to be an author, and she wrote a book and she signed the book, this copy for my children, and it's a children's book. So this book pops up on the reading log as the book that he read to my daughter. Yet he told them that they didn't need any books. So the legal system and the attorneys, the judges have not caught up with just how abusive that they can be and how manipulative that they can be. And they're still going to be jabbing at you every chance that they get, but you will get through it. I promise you that if you just hold on, you will get through it. You will learn how they operate. And at some point, it won't bother you anymore. And at some point, hopefully they find someone and they ease off of you. And then you get better prepared and in a better position to deal with them, because the more that you heal, the less that the things that they do bother you. But I do want to make you aware that these are the kinds of things that you can look for when you have children with a narcissist and they're no longer with you. And I also want to leave you all with some resources. So there are 2 channels. There is co-parenting with a narcissist 101. I'm going to leave a link for that below. And also the Enlightened Target. She has some videos on her channel about, divorcing a narcissist with children. So I'm going to leave some links down below this video that I hope will be helpful on some other channels on YouTube. And you all go and get healed. And I hope all is well with you. If you've liked this video, give it a thumbs up and go ahead and subscribe to the channel and leave me a comment down below. And I look forward to hearing from you in the comments. I look forward to meeting up with you again on another time. Thanks so much for joining me here at Narc Free. Bye-bye, my beautiful people.